How to create a successful lead funnel. Well, welcome back. My name is Brendan Bardick, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. In our industry, we have a lot of different things thrown at us all the time talking about leads and how to convert. And our leads convert at 10%, 4%, 19%. I hear all of this all the time. And what I have to make sure that we're really clear on is that everybody's lead funnel is going to be custom and individual to that person or that organization. There's not two funnels out there that should ever probably be remotely similar based upon location, size of team, structure, your personality style, how long you've been in the business, so many different factors. What I'm going to give you today is a very simple 4-step guide to create your funnel and then put it into action. So let's get started. When we think about a funnel, I'd like you to take a piece of paper, and on that piece of paper, I just want you to draw an upside down triangle. Easiest way that I can explain it. So upside down triangle, all right? At the top of the funnel, or at the top of the triangle, you're gonna have that line drawn straight across, okay? So it's gonna look like, a line of a triangle. At the top, I want you to start thinking about where you're going to get leads and client opportunities from. And I like to call this the scoops of ice cream on the ice cream cone. So you got this triangle, which is your ice cream cone. What are gonna be the big scoops that we're gonna put at the top that are gonna start to melt and go all the way down into our cone? And here's some things I'll throw out at you. It depends on your type of business. Now, if I'm creating a funnel for a brand new real estate professional, then we have a couple of options here, which I'm gonna show you a small budget option or no budget option, which I think is the best way to start. And then as you start making money, to create a bigger option, and then we'll talk about how to grow it from there. So if you're a brand new agent, probably at the top of your funnel, you're going to do a lot of outbound activities to make your circles. So one of those outbound activities could be calling expired listings or connecting with expired listings. So that might be your first circle. The next one could be door knocking your neighborhood or a neighborhood you want to farm. So door knocking could be another circle at the top of your ice cream cone. Third could be you create a YouTube channel. You're on YouTube right now or listening to us on a podcast, YouTube or podcast, so that you can start getting people to see who you are, what you're about, the information and value you provide, and maybe that's at the top of your funnel. And then of course, everyone always loves this one as real estate, especially new agents, I don't know why, social media. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with social media, but I can tell you it's, especially in the beginning, it's going to be a piece, but not the only piece you need, all right? You can't, not that you can't, it's very challenging to build a successful real estate business solely off of Facebook and Instagram. It's just a fact, especially without paid advertising on the two. And I know if you're having massive success with that, feel free to share it in the box. I'm sure someone out there is. I'm saying on average, the masses. So you have those activities. Then you could possibly have, and don't put all these up there just yet, networking, right? So what are your networking events? Maybe you have a book club, maybe you're involved in a charity, maybe you have different things that you do that help produce connections to people. Meetup groups is a possible good one there that you could start to do. Chamber of Commerce, political affiliations. So do you see how we're building out that entry level of funnel? My recommendation to get this right, think about 2 to 3 and get those really good. There's no reason to have 8, 9, or 10. In fact, you could really put 3 up there and then just focus on one for the next 2 to 3 months as you improve that and then head on from there. So give that some thought. So that's at the top of the funnel. Then on the next thing, I want you to maybe go an inch down on your paper, draw a line. And then the next thing we need to do with leads is we need to categorize them and create filters. To do this, when we put them in our CRM, and agents get so worried about, do I have the right CRM? There's no perfect CRM. They all have pluses and minuses. Every single one of them is basically designed to start here, funnel down, and help you stay organized and provide your clients with value. And then some of them get a lot more detailed as you have a massive database because you're generating and taking care of so much information. Now, we're gonna put links below. One that I utilize is Real Geeks. So I've been using Real Geeks for years. I love it, it works for me, but it was an evolution of building that system out over time. I know a lot of agents that have great success with Boomtown. I know agents that have great success with whatever their company's website is. It just depends on where you're at, how much money you have to spend, and what you're looking at. But once we meet a person, so let's go back to our top of our funnel. So we met somebody through networking at a barbecue or an event or whatever it is. We come back, we need to put them into our CRM, our management system, okay? And what we need to do is make sure what we have is what I call a legend. You need to have a legend. The way that you classify and categorize somebody every time you put them into your system. So you have to make sure by either watching the CRM's informational website, learning from others, there's ways to do this right, and there's ways where you can really screw up your database from the start. So make sure you understand the statuses, urgencies, time frames. And what I mean by this is, let me take it very simple. You meet someone at barbecue. You put them in your CRM. And when you put them into your database, you're going to classify this person as, here's what ours is, contacted. So I've been in contact with this person. If I found out that they were looking to buy a house in the next 30 days, our status is going to be hot. So we mark them as, I met with this person, I've been in contact with them, human contact. I know that they're looking to sell in the next 30 days. That's my hot classification. And their status is that needs to get pre-qualified. So I know that that's the legend. Then from that, you can start building out other categories. Let's say that they weren't ready to buy for 90 days. Well, maybe that's urgency is warm for you. Maybe things past 90 days is cold. I will make sure that you understand ours, and we'll make sure that that's all laid out, but it has to be specific, and it depends on how your CRM classifies things. I guarantee you there's somewhere in the helps system that talks about how to do this, and then you're going to have to add to it and build customization to it. So now we've filtered and categorized. And the reason this is important is because you're going to want to be able to, when you have 200, 300, 400, 35,000 people in there, you're going to want to be able to search data very quickly, dependent upon who's what and where, so you can really be effective on processing those clients and helping them have success. So the next piece is just that, is what we call processing or nurture. So I want you to, on your paper, draw another line about an inch down, and I want you to write process/nurture. So this is the system that you're going to create that's going to provide a step-by-step process of what you're going to do from the second new person enters till they end up doing a transaction with you. So this could be they get a market report, they get put on your direct mailer, you tag them for your monthly giveaway that you announce, are set up on a custom home search, or if they're a seller, they're set up to see homes that are available active in their neighborhood currently competing against them if they were to list. You can figure out what are the things that I'm going to do every single time, and you're going to call this the Susie Smith system or the John Adams system. It'll be your system, or if you're a really successful agent on a team, you're going to need to learn that team's system so that you can understand we're all talking the same language. Perhaps a team owner created this for you and spent hours and hours to make it elaborate so that you don't have to do it. That's awesome, right? But make sure you know how to use it. It is extremely critical. So you've got to figure out how to process and nurture people, because we know that the average conversion for a new buyer lead is 550 days. 550. That's a lot of days. Somebody could pop right away. Somebody might take 4 years. Somebody might take 10 years. Is your system set up to nurture a client for 10 years before they decide to buy or sell with you? That's what we have to make sure we're developing in that section. One more line down. I want you to draw another line down an inch. Now we have to convert. C-O-N-V-E-R-T, convert. So now we've nurtured, and now we want to lead down to this next thing, which is an appointment. Okay, so you have to go on an appointment. So now you've been nurturing, and they raise their hand and they go, we'd really love for you to come over and take a look at our house. Hot dog, here I go, woo! They could be interviewing 4 other agents. They could be in just the starting process of where they're willing to start looking at selling their house. There could be in a million different situations, but now I've got to make sure that I'm really good at converting. So I need an established and successfully proven listing presentation or buyer consultation that leads to signatures in a non-threatening, I use the word douchey way, right? You want to help clients and lead them to the success of, we're ending this with us doing business together, if that's what's possible during your pre-qual. So how do you get better at conversion? The one way that we know is you have to practice. To get better at converting, you have to have practice. So role play, script practice, do your presentation 1,000 times, okay? Right? If you want to be a pro golfer, you're going to have to practice a lot of putts to ever get good at putting. Why would it be any different when you're going to meet with someone for possibly a $100,000 listing commission to sell their home? You don't think that maybe you should have practiced ahead of time? Here's the thing. Sell your program, not you as the person. If you don't have one, we have one available to you. Feel free to connect with us, BrendonBardick.com. We have it all detailed out with where to buy it, how to do it, all that fun stuff. And then you customize it a little bit to yourself. Once you have it, you got to learn how to use it. So then join us for role play Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, 12 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. If you want information on that, go to our private Facebook page. All of that information is there. This is what professionals do. Are you in a community around people that are wanting to bring you to the next level? And then the last piece, I want to draw one more line. You should have just a little bit left of your bottom of your triangle there. Repeat. So that's it. Now we're going to repeat. We're going to ask for referrals. We're going to provide something that we call the promise during the transaction. And that's an entirely different video. Just Google Brendon Bardick, the promise, where we make sure that we get a buyer or seller referral from every client we help, plus a 5-star review. I'm going to provide value to our client with our custom 30-touch marketing program. So after they close on their home, they're going to give me additional referrals. We're going to become friends. We're going to be in a relationship together where they're going to want to send business my way. That's the funnel. So let's restart this over. Think of your ice cream scoops on top. The next is it's going to start melting down. We need to categorize and filter the information. So we have to have our legend. That's very important. The next piece, we need to process and nurture. If it's a seller lead, I do this. If it's a buyer lead, I do this. The next section is I have to convert. So my listing appointment and buyer consultation are designed and proven, and I practiced them. That always leads to me doing business and providing great value to my client. And then at the very bottom of our ice cream cone or our sales funnel, repeat and repeat and repeat. And that's where you just put a $sign, a smiley face of a happy client, and they're so thrilled about your service and your continued service that they send you people for the future. Put it into action. If you have questions about this, ask us in the comment section below. Share this with someone else that might be needing a sales funnel right now. And as you develop it, those 3 scoops of ice cream at the top, they're gonna change over time, right? Maybe one day your ice cream scoops are billboards, TV ads, radio. It's gonna change depending upon, in the beginning, you have more time, so you're gonna do efforts that take up your time. As you build a successful business, you're gonna have more money, so you can leverage that money so you don't have to spend as much of your time to produce the same result. A lot in that one. I'm gonna be dropping a lot more videos about sales funnels and nurturing systems and all of that, but I hope you enjoyed it. Hit the like button, that would mean the world to me, and if there's anything I can ever do, please don't hesitate to reach out.